Hey guys, DynastyWarriors6 here again with a updated collection video. I have decided to jump into the PS2. PS2 has definitely grown over time currently for me. So I've been looking forward to trying to do an updated collection video regarding all of the games I've been picking up. I've got a lot of good rare, or uncommon, I wouldn't say rare, but definitely uncommon gems you wouldn't very often see in the wild. So we're just going to kind of jump into it. I've got it kind of built into stacks of common, and then we're going to work towards the uncommon, and maybe a couple little rare ones, but, we're going to start with the uncommon and work towards the good stuff, as we always do. So, first stack, I've got a Grand Theft Auto 3, Black Label, of course, Jack 2, Bully, not my favorite game, but it's a game, High School Musical 3, I regret buying this, of course, Lara Croft Tomb Raider, the Angel of Darkness. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly, which is an interesting looking game. Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I bought this on I think near Christmas at one point, and I thought it was going to be good, and it wasn't. I thought it was going to be a lot like Lord of the Rings, like that combat style, like Two Towers, Return of the King. It wasn't. Naruto Ultimate Ninja. Spartan Total Warrior. If you haven't played this game, you should definitely try it out once. It's kind of fun. A little bit of hack and slash like Dynasty Warriors. Virtual Fighter 4 Evolution. Greatest hits. Sadly, I'm not a big fan of Black Label or Red Label Greatest Hits games. Castlevania Laminate of Innocence. Future Tactics: The Uprising. Interesting looking game. God of War 1. Champions of Horath. Pretty interesting looking game. Iron Man Soldiers Heroes 2. I still gotta take these stickers off of it. I haven't done that yet. I should do that one day. Falling Stars. Not a bad looking game. SSX Tricky. Ring of Red. Oh, stuck. NBA Street Volume 2. I'm not a big fan of this kind of games, but they're okay. Sonic Mega Collection. Great game if you want to just play all the Sonic games. There's like 8 games in here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 7. 7 games. I'm sorry. 7 games. Extreme G Racing 3, I believe. Not bad. Silent Scope. Way of the Samurai 1. Tekken Tag Tournament, Japanese version. This is the Japanese, as you can kind of see with all the writing on there. This is the Japanese version. I got this at a pawn shop, well, originally. Tekken's Nina Williams in Death by Degrees. This, I think, is kind of like a Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero mythologies or Shaolin monks who kind of run around and fight guys and stuff as Nina. Tekken Tag Tournament, US version, US release. Tekken 4. Not bad. And Tekken 5. A lot of great Tekken games right there. Next up we'll work on is this stack right here. I got WWF SmackDown, Just Bring It. I think the first SmackDown game that was released on PS2. WWE SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, or Shut Your Mouth. And WWE SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. So I got all 3 of the WWE SmackDowns or games right there. NBA Live 2002. My dad bought me this game. It was like one of my first PS2 games my parents bought me for Christmas one time, so I kind of hang on to that for sentimental reasons. Samurai Western, which is basically a offshoot of Way of the Samurai. So if you're looking to collect the Way of the Samurai series, this actually is part of the series. It's just a sister game of it. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, one of Jason's favorite PS2 titles. Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy VII. Not a bad game, not terribly great, but it's decent. Hitman Contracts, I gotta get that sticker off of there. Hitman Contracts, though. One of the first games I ever played with actual nudity in it was Dark Watch. The game, it shows its age now. 50 Cent Bulletproof. Dead to Rights. Pretty good game. I remember buying it thinking it was like Max Payne, and it was, very much. And Call of Duty Finest Hour. Not a bad game, made by Activision. And then next up is Devil Kings, like Samurai Warriors, but it's made by Capcom and it's their version of the hack and slash games. Devil Kings is pretty dark sometimes. It's got a lot of dark stuff going on in it. Dark Cloud 1, not bad. Black Label. Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne. And Max Payne 1, sadly this is Greatest Hits though. I wish it was Black Label. SWAT Global Strike Team. Pretty good game. Armored Core 2. Armored Core 3. Got both of those guys. Gauntlet, Seven Sorrows. I still need Gauntlet Dark Legacy. That's the hardest one regarding trying to find in the wild. Soul Calibur 3. This game I can never enunciate, so I'll just hold it up real close for you guys to read. If you know how to say it, there you go. I'm not gonna say it because I'll probably butcher it like I always do. It is a import game though, so it is pretty cool to get and have. It's a Black Label game. Always great to have Black Label games. There we go. Next stack, we have Ultimate Spider-Man, which is one of Jason's favorite games on PS2. Very fun game, right, Jason?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Neo Contra. Been working on trying to collect the Contra series. I got on the PS2. I think I got one more to go. Godai Elemental Force, made by 3DO, one of my favorite old video game producing companies. They made the Armament Sarge's Heroes series, which I really liked back in the day. Way of the Samurai 2. I've yet to play this game. I've been meaning to. I have. It's just I haven't gotten around to it. Mega Man X7. I've actually been on a Mega Man X kick right now. I've been playing X4 and X5 a great deal. I am having a pain in the ass time with X5 though. And 4 a little bit, but 5 especially. But X7. And Gungrave, Black Label. There we go. So now we're going to hop into my kind of Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors collection. I think a lot of you guys have seen it, but there have been some new additions over time. I've got Samurai Warriors 2 Extreme Legends. And I've got Samurai Warriors Extreme Legends 1. Samurai Warriors. Warriors Orochi 2 and Warriors Orochi 1, of course. Both games of the series. Pretty cool. And Romance of the Three Kingdoms 11, 10, 9, 8, and 7. I got all those. And from what I understand now, 11 and 10 are really hard to find in the wild. I bought every... Except these two. These two, I bought all 3 of these brand new, which is pretty cool. Because in 11, they only had 2 copies of at the GameStop I went to. It was a very low. That's why it's hard to find. And I got Dynasty Tactics 1 and Dynasty Tactics 2. Dynasty Tactics 2 is my preferred favorite over 1. If I had to pick between the two. Next up, we'll start with this deck. Kessen 1, one of my favorite Kessen games. Kessen 2, one of my least favorite Kessen games. And Kessen 3, my second favorite game. Good cinema, good movies in this one. Dynasty Warriors 6 on PS2, which is actually fairly uncommon, so if you find it in the wild for pretty cheap, pick it up because it was a pretty much predominant PS3 release. This is this was the last Dynasty Warriors game released on PS2. So if you see it, pick it up. If you can. It's got some value to it. Dynasty Warriors 5 Extreme Legends, Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires, and Dynasty Warriors 5 Original. So I got all 3 of those, you know. Dynasty Warriors 4 Extreme Legends, I got the stickers off, Dynasty Warriors 4 Empires, and Dynasty Warriors 4 Original. I got all 3 of those. And Dynasty Warriors 3 Extreme Legends and Dynasty Warriors 3 Original. They did not have an Empires version of Dynasty Warriors 3, for the people who don't know. They never came out with it. At the time, it was kind of still in the infancy stages of for this game. And Dynasty Warriors 2, which is... I found this game at a GameStop, I believe, for like $5. It was really cheap, and it shows its age. It's very chunky, clunky, sad, but it's funny. And the funny thing is, the character designs from this game and the character designs from this game are pretty much the same. They are pretty much. So Dynasty Warriors 2 and 3 are pretty much the same, except this one has more voice acting, better graphics, better controls, and just better looking weapons. So, There you go. All right, next up, I'll kind of jump into the some of my fighter games, some of the fighting games I've got. I got Street Fighter Alpha Anthologies. It's got 5 games in it, which is really cool because me and my brother Daniel will bust this out on like holidays or something like that when we're hanging out together. Fatal Fury Battle Archives Volume 1 comes with 4 games. Mortal Kombat Armageddon, Red Label or Greatest Hits, sadly not Black Label. I wish it was. Mortal Kombat Deception, and Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Very cool to have all those guys kind of in one pile. And I've also got Guilty Gear Asuka. Guilty Gear, I played this game. It is confusing. I'm not lying. I played it with a buddy and I was just like, well, this is getting ridiculous. Next up, I'll go with kind of like the horror genre, the suspense, thriller, whatever you want to call it, genre. Resident Evil 4, of course. Can't have a collection of PS2 games if you don't have Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil Outbreak number 1, great game. Resident Evil Outbreak number 2. Resident Evil Dead Aim, not bad. And I got 2 versions of Code Veronica X. This is the greatest hits version, and this is the 5th anniversary edition Resident Evil. Sadly, it is missing the demo for Devil May Cry in it. So I am kind of looking for that, but these 2 are different in a sense. One concludes a demo and the 5th anniversary. This is just kind of a regular game. Interesting. Silent Hill 2, greatest hit sadly. Silent Hill 3, and Silent Hill Origins. All those guys. And then this stack of games is just kind of like a series of games. I just didn't have any a smaller series of set of games. Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. Metal Gear Solid 2, Substance. This belongs in that 3-pack of Metal Gear Solid. Sadly, I don't have the 3-pack. I am currently looking for it, but I bought this game for really cheap at the time, so not a big deal. Hold on. I thought something was bouncing around in there. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and Metal Gear Solid 3 Substance, which took me quite a while to find, and I finally got it, and I'm real happy to have it in my collection. Also, I picked up Onimusha Warlords. It was a while back, but the reason why I picked it up was it's Black Label. I usually see these things as greatest hits, so this was really kind of hard to find Black Label, so I'm happy to have that Black Label. Also got Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny, Onimusha 3, Demon Siege, Onimusha Blade Warriors, and Onimusha Dawn of Dreams. So I got all those guys Black Label, which was kind of like a big thing for myself to collect all those and get them all Black Label. So now we're going to kind of jump into the better stuff, of course, as we always try to do. This is just kind of the higher quality stuff that, these are uncommon games you wouldn't regularly see in the wild. A couple you would, but some you might not. First one is Ark the Lad, Twilight of the Spirits. This game is kind of cheap, but it's part of the Ark the Lad series. Ark the Lad, End of Darkness, sorry. Or End of Darkness. Zone of the Enders, the second runner. I don't have the first game, but the first game is really cheap. It's only like $5 in our area here. This game was fairly expensive, like $30, $40. I found this at I think a GameStop actually, for selling it for like $10, $15, so I bought it. Xenosaga Episode 1, Xenosaga Episode 2, and Xenosaga Episode 3. And this game's been going up in price, I noticed. And now I bought it for like $15, now it's hitting like $30s and $40s in our area. So I got it when it was good, good to get it. A sealed, The Nightmare of Daruga? I can't say it right. So as you can see, it is sealed. I have not opened it. I bought it off a guy off Craigslist. And I was happy. I didn't know it was sealed at the time. He didn't tell me that, so I left it sealed. Shining Tears. Very nice game to have. And then I'll take this deck. Radius Stories. Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. Persona 3, of course. Great game. Unlimited Saga, part of the Romancing Saga, Saga Frontier series. Romancing Saga. I've got 2 copies. One is sealed and one is in fantastic shape. This one I bought at the Portland Retro is in really great shape, but I left the sealed one sealed just because I've already got one open, so, you know, why open this, really? And then Grandia 3, sadly this one is missing the manual. That's the only disappointing thing about this one game. And then Rogue Galaxy, I see a lot of guys have this game. I've been meaning to play it and try it out. I haven't done it yet. I've been really busy, sadly. And then the last stack, I believe, yep. It is the last stack, so thank you guys for bearing with it. Shining Force Neo, I do need one more Shining Force game on PS2, and it's a bitch to find. I need Shining Force EXA. I have seen the strategy guide, but I have not seen the game. I have asked every game store. Nobody has it. So Shining Force Neo. I need EXA. Valkyrie Profile 2. Suikoden 3. That was a really nice pickup. Suikoden 4. This is one of my kind of crown jewels of my PS2 sealed games. Tales of Legendia. I can't say it, so, you know, sue me. Sealed, and I got it from the guy on Craigslist, and I couldn't believe it was sealed. This is factory sealed, brand new. Awesome game to get. The Arc of Nepotism, I actually recently repicked this up. I had traded my other copy away to Dr. Reaper Zero, but then I found this when the guy I bought the huge Craigslist deal with like all those games that were sealed like this and that. He had this game in there too, so it was really cool to get that. Disgaea 1, the Hour of Darkness. I was going to say Afternoon of Darkness, but Afternoon of Darkness is the PSP version. Disgaea 2, Cursed Memories. And then Manakema Alchemist of Alvarez. Pretty interesting cover art because it goes sideways instead of like normal art like everything else. Well, I think only this game goes sideways as well that I own. But it is complete, of course. And Altair Iris 2. And I have been trying to get into collecting this series. I only have like 3 or 4 games of the Altair Manakema series. There's a couple on PS2 and there's a couple on PS3 that I'm missing currently. So I'm working on it, but it's a trying process because they are uncommon games. And Japanese RPGs are a hot commodity to collect for in our area. So finding them in the wild is always tough, and finding them on Craigslist deals is really tough because nobody buys those games when they first come out, usually, in our area. So that's it, guys. That's everything. I put some games over here, of course, to kind of, you know, divvy up the space a little bit because it's going to get overwhelming. But that's our my updated PS2 collection. That was pretty easy to get through. I'm worried about doing Sega right now just for the fact that Sega will be it's going to be a lot of work getting it all down and then getting it all back up. That's my only issue. It's like, it's not that hard to just do the video, it's just getting it all down. But here's PS2. PS2 is relatively easy just because it's all DVD cases. So, thanks for tuning in. We will see you guys on Sunday. If we do the Sega video, an updated collection video, it might be in like 2 or 3 parts because it could be excessively long. Because I know for a fact I have at least 200 games. So it could be excessively long. So we'll see about that if we cross that bridge on Sunday. We might just do a top 10 of something else as well. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and see you guys later in the week.